Hey YouTube, welcome back to New Rock City. I'm your host Stephen Moss, and each week we bring you a brand new band, interview them, and play some of their music. This week we have a band called Surviving December from Devon, England. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us. Much appreciated.
Thanks.
First thing I just wanted to do was just have you introduce yourselves and tell us what you do in the band, please.
Well, I'm Mark. I sing and play guitar and write words that people have to listen to.
I'm Tom and I do vocals.
And I'm Gemma and I'm on vocals as well.
So, how did you guys meet?
The band has its roots in about 16, 17 years ago, where it was started as a project between me, my brother Jason, and Chris, who couldn't make it to the interview tonight. But it sort of never went away. After a couple of years of gigging and doing a few things, it sort of collapsed itself a bit. Brought it back during lockdown and decided to show what I was doing to Gemma and Tom, who I've also worked with on occasion for different things. And so did my brother come back, and so did Chris want to come back, and it's sort of like grown, and we're using our old drummer to produce and master it. That's how I brought it back, but both of them have their own story about how they came to be.
So yeah, I knew Mark and Jason and Chris from like 16 years ago, maybe probably even more than that. And we kind of lost contact for about 10 years or whatever. And then Mark sent me this track that he'd been working on when he started to like get everyone back together. And I was like, do you need a female vocalist? Like joking around. And he was like, well, actually, yeah, I do. So
oh, nice.
Yeah, that's how I joined. Yeah.
As for me, so as Mark mentioned, we were in a few bands in the past. I was living in Devon in between 2009 and 2012, I think it was. Yeah, we were in a few projects together. Most of them didn't really go very far, but we kind of developed a bit of a rapport, a bit of a good working relationship, as it were, within writing and everything. And yeah, so when he decided to revive it, we were talking, and we ended up joining. So
very nice. So as you guys mentioned, there was a period of time where there was a little hiatus, and in 2020 kind of got back together. What was it really that made you kind of take that leap again and say, you know what, I want to get the band back together?
Well, I was I don't mind saying it, I was shoved in that shielded category. I don't know if you guys in America know what that means, but with the pandemic, well, with the pandemic going on, they decided that there was a catchment of people that were more at risk. And because of some tablets I'm on for my eyesight, I fell into that. So I wasn't allowed out the house at all, apparently. So
gotcha.
I had two choices: sit on my ass and do nothing, or tried something. So I thought, I know, I'll buy an interface for the computer and start playing my old tracks into it. And the first track that fell out of the guitar was Falling Apart, which was an old song, got remade into what it is now, sort of written about the last year. And that's just sort of how it came to be. It was just pure accident almost, really. Just, I want to do something, I'm not going to spend a year doing nothing.
Gotcha. So you had mentioned Falling Apart is older. So during that hiatus period, were you still writing music?
Yes.
Nice.
But pretty much solely in my head. So I would be like, there's a track we're just actually, our producer is literally working on it now as we speak. He's been sending us messages, teasing us and annoying us. And that one's called Set It Off. That one, I've had the riff in my head for years. I've just never done anything with it. And I just knew we needed a fast punk song, so I pulled it out. Falling Apart was originally a completely different song. But when I played the original riff in and the original chord construct, I started playing around with that over it, which changed the entire song. So I basically ripped up the old words, ripped up the old way it was, and went, yeah, that's the way. And all the old songs, I'm sort of trying to bring them back, but there's also a few new ones mixed in as well, which I was working on with Tom. One of them's The Ice Is Too Thick.
In addition to Falling Apart, are there any other songs that you currently have on iTunes or Apple Music, Spotify now that were actually written a while ago?
Yep, Connected, Stay, Falling Apart, sort of. You Care. The Fade is brand new. Ice Is Too Thick is probably about 5 or 6 years old. Oh, The Other Side, which is currently under complete rework. because I'm not happy with that version. That's getting we're going with the producer we got now on that one. That's
Gotcha.
brand new as well. That's being worked as we speak. And there's 2 or 3 more waiting, and one of them is a rework.
So basically, most of the songs we're going to be playing tonight were written a while ago. That's interesting.
Have their roots a while ago. UK hasn't changed much. It was the melodies the same. The vocal melodies almost
Gotcha.
identical to what it used to be. The guitar riffs are the same. The only thing I really did is I sort of upgraded the words because they sound better now. And they were I never used to write words. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I used to go up on stage. I used to know this verse I've got to sing about. I've got to sing about the forest in the second verse, for example. I'd make it up on stage all the time. Never wrote them down. This time I don't.
Well, very nice. Hey, I wanted to point out that you guys had some very exciting stuff happen to you guys recently. On March 18th, you guys announced on Facebook that you got signed to a label. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
How did that come about for you guys?
It's actually Tom. I think you want to head that one up because you sent me something, didn't you?
Yeah, well, essentially, so because we don't have as a manager as such, we kind of just do bits and pieces to help out with the band. And my job is to kind of filter the emails, see which ones are worth sending to Mark and which ones to just ignore.
Gotcha.
So I got this email from this this label, but I kind of read it and I'd fresh in my head. I think with that same week, Margaret said to me, "Just be careful of there's lots of scammers out there trying to pull a fast one." So I was just being wary of that. And I read the email. I thought, okay, well, might be legit. I'm not going to pass it out of the way. I thought it was worth sending to Mark, so I sent it on to Mark, and gradually, within the space of a week, we were signed. So it's pretty amazing. So.
That is amazing.
It was a bizarre one because he sent me this, and I rung him and went, "So that email you've just sent me," and he goes, "Yeah." I went, "Exactly." I said, "This does look right." So I fired an email straight back to them and sort of introduced myself and the group and sort of what we were doing, where we were at, because I just want to put all our cards on the table right from word go of what we're about.
Mhm.
And they responded with, basically, "Do you want to chat?" So I was like, "Yeah, we do. We definitely do." Arranged it, and it was all of us on a group chat similar to what we're doing now.
Gotcha.
It just went really well. The thing is, with this label, they are there for the artist. I do genuinely believe that, and that's why we're so absolutely thrilled to be part of it. And the first track they're going to get is Set It Off, which is literally weeks away now for them to be able to do what they need to do with it, really.
Very cool. Well, I want to play a song. We talked a lot about Falling Apart already. Is there anything else you can let us know about it before we play the song?
Just I really wrote it with the last year in mind. I mean, you can take from it what you want. I try and leave all my lyrics with a little bit of ambiguity in them so people can draw on their own sort of lives of it. It's just a rock song. I just hope people take it, use it for the way they wish to, and enjoy it.
Right on. All right, guys. So here is Falling Apart by Surviving December. and welcome back to the show. 23% of my musical guests so far have actually been from England, and more bands are going to be from England during this month. And that kind of got me thinking. Here in the U.S., each part of the country has its own little distinctive sound. Like you can hear a band and be like, all right, they got a Southern California vibe, or like a hardcore New York scene. When it comes to England, do bands there have a different sound depending on the part of the country they're from?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think they do.
Gotcha.
I would say it's kind of universal, really. I mean, I suppose accents. If you're going down the road of accents, you can tell if a band comes from, say, Scotland
Yeah.
or Wales, because it'll be a pronunciation thing. But other than that, like
No,
general makeup of their
I was
sound,
actually referring to like music, because like Southern California is where like the big pop punk started, and like they have a big ska influence. Certain cities like around Tampa, Florida, are big into like hardcore metal and things like that. So I didn't know if that was similar, like if there was different sounds throughout the country.
I can't imagine there would be, really. No, because I mean, if you think about it, England is, well, compare it to any state in America, you could probably fit England in it a few times. So
Gotcha.
there really isn't that. I don't think there really is enough room for us to be that different. Like in oh, you're definitely from the London area. I just don't think we could.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I want to play another song, which you had mentioned was one written a little while ago. Can you tell us a little more about Connected?
Connected. So Connected was written, again, another one of sort of 16, 17 years ago, and it was a really fun one. It's one of those ones where we were just just before we even recorded, we were just sat in a room together, and it's just Chris come up with this riff, and we were like, yeah, just one of those songs where it just instantly happened, and it's all about fun. It's about meeting someone. I've always said it in sort of like a summer vibe. You're meeting someone, you see them for the first time, you get the, yeah, I'm gonna go stand next to them, see if they notice me. I'll queue up and see if I can, hi, stuff that I could never do because I'm just too much of an introvert. But that sort of thing. I thought,
Gotcha.
yeah, why not?
So here is the song Connected by Surviving December.
As I watched you from, say, afar, just like I always do.
welcome back to the show. Here in the U.S., things are starting to open up a little bit, and people are booking shows. Things are slowly kind of getting back to normal. As far as concerts for you guys on the other side of the pond, what's it looking like for you?
As far as I know, Slam Dunk Festival's going ahead. They've moved it to September, and I am
September.
definitely going to it.
Gotcha.
It's moving in the right direction. I think if it all goes to plan, and I've got a second job as a doorman, so I should be going back to that job theoretically in June, end of June. So that's when apparently they're pulling the plaster off.
So as far as surviving December, there's nothing in the works as far as concerts until around September?
I probably shouldn't really say, but we've got loose plans with a
Gotcha.
local group that, if it all goes well, we might be looking at a debut gig, possibly August.
Oh, okay, nice.
That is very, very fingers crossed, and it's a little bit early to say whether we can pull this off yet, but
Gotcha.
we really want to.
All right. Well, in that same line of thinking about what's to come for you guys, you have a new song coming out on April 16th. Can you tell us about that?
It is written many, many years ago. I'm terrible for it. But because with the makeup of the band's slightly different now, it used to be it used to have the same vibe to it. It was someone going, it's about the relationship, and them sort of going, oh, should we try that again? But I would just sing both parts. But I would sing it of, then you say, then I say, that sort of like makeup. But then I was like, well, Gemma's in the band. Why don't we make it a back and forward between the two of us? And the resulting is what you're probably about to hear.
Very cool. Also on your social media, I noticed that you guys have pictures of you guys recording. Are you able to speak about any plans for an up and coming album?
Yes, it's due probably June.
June. Very nice.
Middle of June, it should be all neatly packaged up, and then it'll be out. It's called The Narrative. It will feature probably all the songs you've heard so far anyway, plus some that we haven't released. It's about 12 tracks long.
Okay, so a full-length album. Very nice.
Oh, full-length album, yeah.
Very
yeah,
cool.
we're not messing around. Yeah, so that'll be due then, and then we're probably going to be back in the studio sometime around December, January for a 4-track EP, which again, some of the songs are already underway in demo process at the moment.
Nice.
The album is going to tell a story as well, so that's why it's called The Narrative.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. What is different on the new album, or what can your fans expect from this up and coming album?
The thing we tried to do with this, as Gemma said, is to line quite a quantity of the songs up where you would follow a character through the story and a progression of how they would be happy with themselves in a sense, because I wanted to bring some positivity after the year from hell.
That'd be nice.
Exactly. And I did hear someone say there's a lot of bands that are going the other way. So I thought, well, I definitely don't want to bring any more heartache and depression to it. And the other side touches about as far that way as I would dare to go, and a bit of falling apart, to be fair. But what we wanted to do is try and cast a wide net and see what people liked in us. So if they like the falling apart, which is the slightly more, dare I use the word, emo, more sort of like rocky sort of thing, then
Gotcha.
That's great. If that's the sound you like from us, then we'll lean over there. But if they like the pop punky stuff where the connected and the set it off's gonna lie, yeah, we'll lean that way. And if you like just general rock music, then we'll go for Fade, You Care, things like that, and cast a wide net, see what people like, and experiment. Use the acoustic guitars, use the resonator if I'm allowed to, and the electric guitars, and just have some fun.
Very nice. Well, actually, I'm going to piggyback on that because you said using the acoustic guitars. Just yesterday, you guys were making some acoustic songs. So what can you tell us about that?
Gemma, I'll let you start that.
Obviously, with lockdown, we haven't actually been able to meet up. So it was the first time we've actually been able to play together properly, like face to face, which is very interesting. There's some very good outtakes. Mark decides to make up some random words because he forgets the words, which is brilliant. But yeah, it went really well, and we haven't just did an acoustic version of Again. We've actually done quite a few of the songs, which will slowly be released in the next couple of days on Facebook.
I nearly lost my thumb to it as well.
So that picture with the blood on the guitar, that was real?
Yeah.
That was
Was you?
genuinely real. Right, you'll see that video eventually because that's actually we just actually just finished doing everything we were going to do, and we just started playing through Set It Off because we thought, well, to be fair to us, we've not played these songs properly. We've just like I've batted round. Oh, here's the chords. Someone's gone. Okay, I'll put the bass on it now. Here's the backing vocals. Here's this. So it's all not been like in a room together, going bouncing ideas off each other. So I thought, well, the freshest in our head was Set It Off. So I was like, well, I wonder if we can play that acoustically. So I did one quick run through, and we both were like, yeah, that sounds actually quite good. So we recorded it, and right near the end, my thumb just just decided it didn't want to stay neat and tidy anymore, and decided to spring a leak all over my wonderful custom guitar from the Philippines.
Oh, that sucks.
There's a point in the video where you can see me like looking over at Mark, and I'm like, shall I stop? Shall I tell him? Carry on. So funny.
A true pro.
Literally, it was literally cut on the camera phone they were using it, and then she went, "You need to look at your thumb." And I was looked down. I was like, "Oh yeah, look at that."
Oh man. Well, sorry, it kind of got blood on your guitar, but it made for a good picture on Facebook.
It did. They've enjoyed that one.
I want to go ahead and play another song. What can you tell us about the song "Stay"?
It was written many years ago. Yeah, that one's a nice little. Again, it fits with the album really nice. That's why we brought it out of retirement. It's that awkward walk to the door with the person. Do you go in and spend the night? It's just a nice, more chilled version of what we do, but our producer put some amazing like sub underneath it, so it's got a nice rumble to the chorus. So absolutely love the way it comes out and sounded. Yeah, really nice track.
Right on. All right, guys. So this is "Stay" by Surviving December.
Watch as we stand here like so many times before.
The next one I want to play is You Care. Can you tell us about that one?
You Care's it's got a nice vibe to it as lyrically. It's one I'm quite proud of. We wanted to put a song out there where people could just be more aware of the surroundings, not have to be sort of confined by the concrete world, as it's actually mentioned in the track. It's about getting outside, about going back to nature, about going back to the things that we're supposed to enjoy as people, instead of just being locked up in a room with a tablet or something like that for the rest of their existence. So I kind of wanted to make something a bit more public about that, and just essentially we're free. We can be free from it. We can just enjoy ourselves. Just a nice little run away with the person you want kind of song.
All right, so here is You Care by Surviving December.
Well, I can tell that this should not be our lives, and I don't want to see no pain in your eyes. Let's make this real, go with how we feel. So we break these chains and make it out alive. This is the adventure of our lives. No plans, no destination set. Just cuddle ties and run away. It's now or never. I just need to know you care. Well, I just need to know that if we do this, you'll be there. Well, I just need to know you care. Well, I just need to know that if we do this, you'll be there. Put the concrete world to the back of our minds, as I see the glow of sunset in your eyes. And with the air so fresh, the trees so tall, let's put down our roots, embrace the lives we found. This is the adventure of our lives. No plans, no destination set. Just cuddle ties and run away. It's now or never. I just need to know you care. Well, I just need to know that if we do this, you'll be there. Well, I just need to know you care. Well, I just need to know that if we do this, you'll be there. The stream, it always flows with ease. The freshest air will help us through. We're home now. Once lost, but now found. We'll let our fire burn out at night while we watch for shooting stars. We're free now. We're free. I just need to know you care.
And welcome back to the show. And the last song I wanted to play from you guys is Fade. What can you tell us about that one?
Fade is one of the newer ones we wrote.
Hey, we got a new song.
We got a new song, yeah. It was a bit different because the sort of writing for that one was the it came about really quickly. It was just a really simple riff that I just sort of stumbled across. I was like, I like that. Now I need some chords. Yeah, I like them. Now I need a bridge. Yeah, I'll have that. And it was literally like seconds. I just ran
Wow.
it through, bunged it in the computer, and I was like, yeah, I like this one. As I started writing the lyrics to it, it originally came out with a walk along the shore and feel the sand between your toes. And I listened to it back. I was like, you know what? I don't care about someone else's experiences in this one. I really don't. That's not what this is about anymore. I was like, why can't we have a song where there is a character, again, fitting in with the narrative, that
Yeah.
just wakes up, happy in their own skin, takes themselves for a walk, embraces. I mean, we're all, most of us here are from a fishing town in Brixham, called Brixham rather, where it's like 7 beaches. We've got 7 beaches. I've got one that's literally at the top of the road.
Oh, wow.
And you can physically walk on the sand. So it became like, oh, it's home. Feel, you know, the smell of the sea air, the sand between your my toes now, you know, feel the sand between my toes. It's warm, it's home. I wanted it to be a personal track, but that a listener could also take from it, because again, I thought it felt quite in keeping with like the surfing and sort of that feeling.
Mhm.
And then it just took it from there, really, and it went off to the producer and came back like that.
Very cool. So I'll play that. So here is Fade by Surviving December.
I wake up alone, never wondering where to go. I step outside once more. The sun is bearing down, slightest breeze of summer's air. I smile, walk on alone. The sun begins to fade, to take the light out of this day. I sit here and wait and just take it in for all the opportunities we miss. Just make way for more to exist. The sun begins to fade, to take the light out of this day. Walk along the shore, I feel the sand between my toes. It's warm, it's home. I hear the waves at the beach, cooling off this summer's heat. The smell, the spray, I'm home. The sun begins to fade, to take the light out of this day. I sit here and wait and just
welcome back to the show, guys. The last part of the show is where I just open it up to you guys, and I would like each of you to talk directly to your fans and just say, what would you like to say to your fans?
I just want to say thank you so much for all your support, just making us feel amazing. And I don't know, I just overwhelmed really by how far we've come in this short time. So yeah, thank you.
I would say that, this has obviously been a huge, very challenging time for the music industry, for bands trying to, to an artist to get out there. So the fact that you guys are, have been so supportive and had such an amazing reaction to us is really amazing. So we're really, really grateful for, for not just for us, but just for the fact that you just love music so much and you're so determined to not see that music industry die because of COVID, ruining everything. So thank you. We've kind of come further in less than a year than we could have imagined, thanks to largely thanks to your amazing support. So thank you.
I guess I'd mirror everything they've just said with the thank you for listening. And any time any person plays any song by any band, it genuinely does help. If you mention to someone, oh, I heard this track today, I think you might like it, the band will appreciate that. I mean, if you're like at our stage where I will flick on the Spotify for Artists app and I will look at how many people are listening at any one time, and I get really excited when I see a play happening or two or whatever, and then I get really excited if I see that the followers have gone up by 1 or 2 or whatever. If people can just keep doing these things and helping out, especially the starting up bands, it puts the light on in that tunnel where they never thought. I mean, years ago, I never thought I could do something like this. I did terrible EPs, awful things that sounded out of time. It was just because it wasn't like it is now. And then I had to try and give them away to people on the street, and no one wanted it. But now we've got a reach. We've got Spotify, we've got Apple Music, we've got Amazon. I've got our songs in places I didn't even know existed. And it's all thanks to people who will actually listen. And if everyone can just keep doing that, not just for us, but for anyone. Every time you hit play, you're putting, I know it's only a fraction, but you're putting something in their pockets. That means they might pull together the money and keep giving you some stuff to listen to. So keep playing. And we appreciate every single time it happens.
So I will have a link in the description of all of your social media. For those watching, you can find Surviving December on Apple Music, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all your socials, and I will have the link. Please like and subscribe to New Rock City. And guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you, guys.
Having us.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, thank you very much.